is that you cannot switch from an authoritarian system to a democracy overnight. I keep saying that, it is not an instant coffee. Some of the coffee branding are quoting me now and putting it on Twitter, by the way. It is not an instant coffee. You need to give it time to brew. Democracy is about a culture. It's about institutions. It's about civil society. Without civil society, a functioning, vibrant civil society, parties, NGOs, you cannot move. You need the culture, and make people understand that synergy is the way to move forward, and not stabbing each other in the back. So we probably were over-optimistic, naive, and in that we think that we move. Egypt since 1952 is an autocratic, authoritarian system. We didn't. So we should have understood that it takes time. You have to build step by step. Second lesson: transition is key. Transition is key. And transition should not be rushed. I've been at that time calling for, let us take our times guide to move through transition. Most important thing is agree on a paradigm how to live together, which is basically values. What are the kind of values we all can agree to, irrespective of whether we are right, left, and center. The Tea Party and the American Civil Liberty Union, they would be able to kill each other in terms of ideology, but they all believe in the U.S. Constitution, due process, Supreme Court, what have you. So you need to go through a soul-searching process of agreeing by consensus and not majority here of what the kind of values we can live by. We unfortunately have, in Egypt and other, we have, in the Muslim world, we have the so-called Islamists, and there's no really definition of what is Islamist is, and we have some of them today, but these are not. What is exactly the definition of Islamist? You have Turkey, who is a Muslim majority state with a secular constitution. You have Saudi Arabia, who have saying the Quran is our constitution, and far and in between. The relationship between religion, religious institution, the state, the rule of law, morality, need to be defined. We have been grappling with that for 14 centuries. We haven't yet really sit together and say, let us define exactly that relationship. The second issue that obviously another problem that, and we see it in many manifestations, that we need, whatever you call it, we need to revisit the Islamic heritage, and there is a 1991, a decision by the summit of the Organization of the Islamic Cooperation State saying we need to revisit the heritage. The heritage is not part of the revered, as the Quran is revered, but our understanding of it is not, and that's a huge issue. We need to understand, that our understanding of religion is not sacrosanct. We need to revisit that. These are all issues that are there in Egypt and the rest of the Arab world that is connected again with the issue, Gilbert, of what is the kind of values we want to all accept, and what's the what's the role of the religion in the public and the private. These are all issues fundamental. But these, as I said, I mentioned, we need to take time. We need to, be careful of how difficult the transition. We need to revisit the whole issue, which is very Arab or Muslim country specific. Exactly how do we define the relationship? Because you had 100 different views on that, and unfortunately, a lot of people abuse it. You see ISIL now, everybody saying, we are talking in the name of religion. They have nothing to do with religion. But we need to cut this umbilical cord of even a perception that Islam has to do anything with this violence, with this terrorism. So these are issues that are not going to be solved overnight. These are not going to be solved by the so-called elite, but this is, in Europe, Europe went through the age of reason, Renaissance, religious reformation, while we were also going through, slaughterhouse, killing each other, from 17th century, when you see the 30 Years' War, religious war, when you see the Paris massacre of the Catholic killing the Huguenots, 30,000 were killed in Paris in a week, in the name of Christianity, the religion of compassion and love. So religion has nothing to do with this. It's all pretext we use to express anger, hate, inequality, and as I mentioned, we need all these issues. We need to put it together in some pot, and hopefully, we will come up with a different paradigm. I was reading the other day, the world is not going to wait for us. Artificial intelligence is moving so fast, and the fear, which is serious fear, that we will create a robot who will then dominate us, who will be more intelligent than we are, and be able to manipulate us. Maybe that's better, because we haven't done anything ourselves on our own.